Here I have a watt meter, and this thing is going to show me how many watts run through it when all my power is on my Christmas lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around, turn on all my lights, because it's daytime right now, so they're all off, and they're all on sensors. So I'm going to come around and make sure all of them are on, and then I'm going to go around to each of my outlets, and I'm going to look at how many watts it's producing. So I have all of these Christmas lights on 2 different breakers, so I'm going to see if maybe I can run some extension cords and put them all together and run them through this 1 watt meter to get the exact number without having to add them together. But as of right now, I'm just coming around, making sure everything is turned on. There we go. So I have a mixture of Tru-Tone around the house, which are all LEDs, and I think they use like 0.6 watts per bulb. And I have a few incandescent lights, but not many. So a few flasher incandescent lights, and then the lights around this tree, they're not all incandescent. Every 5th one is an incandescent. So let's see if I can find an incandescent. So here we go. And these are twinkle bulbs. And so actually this incandescent one has lost some of its blue. So that's not even a Tru-Tone one. So lights, the Tru-Tone one looks a lot better. It's bluer than this incandescent one that I bought online just this year. Yeah, you can see it right here. Here's Tru-Tone blue, Tru-Tone blue, incandescent flasher, and it has lost some of its color. The Tru-Tone have held up much better. And then around here, these are all the Tru-Tone, so all those lights are on. And I go turn on the back, and we'll come back, see how many watts we can get. Along here, I have Tru-Tone around my garage, and a few of them are these incandescent twinkle bulbs. At the end of this video, I haven't actually looked at it yet. I will pull out my electric bill for the month of December, now that I have one. And we'll see how much more. I'll look at the wattage because we were on vacation, so I can see that we were gone for 2 weeks, and you can see when the lights turn on at night and how much more energy it used. Just for reference here, I have a strand of incandescent bulbs from I think about 2003 that somebody gave me, and just this one strand is 59.3 watts. One strand is like the power of one incandescent 60-watt light bulb that not many people have anymore, but they do give off a good light. This just kind of shows you how much electricity is used for one strand of light. So if you covered your whole house in incandescent bulbs, as beautiful as they look, the wattage and cost would add up pretty quick. I can somehow do the cost on here, but I don't really understand how to do that. I just usually look at watts, and I use amperage. That lets you know how many amps are going through your wire, and once your wire gets to a certain length, I don't want to know. So we'll see what I actually come up to today. I don't actually know, but let's go out and see what we have. This is one outlet in the garage. It's one 15 amp outlet, and this controls my big tree and half of my twinkly lights, and we are at 306 watts. That kind of changes because the incandescent twinkle bulbs and the twinkly lights on the tree will change as they go on and off. So we're at 2.5, 2.3 watts. And our high usage is 310 watts for this side of the house and on this one outlet. The whole rest of the house is on one breaker. It's 3 outlets, one in the back, one in the garage that also has a fridge on it, and then the ones by the front of the house. And this one dimmer down here runs most of my Tru-Tone, but there are 3 different cords that go to each one. So each run isn't very long, but they're connected to the same outlet. So let's see how much energy we're using on this outlet. So we'll start with the Tru-Tone, and we'll see how much Tru-Tone is being used to outline my house. 299, 300 watts right here. 285. So there's a few incandescent twinkle bulbs that kind of make it go up and down, but it looks like we're at about 300 for the highest when I first turned them all on, but about 271, 280. The one will be the tree out front. Let's see if I can get it so it's not reflecting. It's a little bright. And our tree, ooh, that's a lot more. 300, 400. So this one's actually connected to an outlet that is in the middle of my front yard, and it runs all the way to the back of the yard along the side of the house. So this, I ran all my cords to this one plug-in in the middle of my garden, and it goes to my tree, to the bushes, to the roof line, to my garden cages that have lights on them to look like Christmas trees, to my lights all the way around the bottom, and to the twinkly lights. So these buckets are awesome. I have 2 of them. They're waterproof buckets. I just got them on Amazon, and they are completely dry even through all the rain. So I plug my wires in right there, put them in and I haven't had any issues. That way they all stay dry. So let's go see how many watts are running through this one outlet. I've got it all set up now, and for clarity purposes, this is not how it's normally run. I do use 2 outlets on this. Let's plug it in and see what we got. I really have no idea. So everything is on 400, 500, 600, 700, oh boy, 730 watts. Wow. Let's check how many amps I'm at. 6.34 amps. So that's quite a bit because some of these are long runs. I'm pulling a lot of amps out of this right now, but it's not normally set up for this long of runs. So my runs are shorter that are running through here. But I'm pulling 6 amps with about 6,000 LED bulbs. Some of them are incandescent. Does include the backyard, which I haven't got to yet. But the backyard doesn't have too many lights, and I can't connect all those in the same one. So we'll go to the backyard and we'll have to just add it to this. So we have a high of 730. Quite a bit of watts. I really had no idea. But I've got lots of lights. Amperage is still pretty far from 15, but I don't want to keep them plugged in this way for so long because this is not the normal way it's worked. So let's go out back and see how many more we are adding on. Here we are in the backyard. We have the same thing. This is another sensor that has all the lights back here on these 3. The same breakers, the outlet out front that we just used, 63. So this has about 75 Tru-Tone bulbs and about 15 patio Tru-Tone bulbs, and then about 700 LED bulbs. But that's only 65 watts, so we're not adding much back here. So that's good, 0.64 amps. So I'll go add these up and I'll put them right here on the screen. See if I can edit it right here. This is what it is. Look at that. I don't know how many watts it is, but that's our total watts for this outlet. There is a mini fridge on it that will add a little bit. I do have my setup running on 2 different timers, so all the lights turn on around 5 o'clock, and then around 9 o'clock all of them turn off except the Tru-Tone. So that does lower the amount of energy being used all night long, but the Tru-Tone do stay on from dusk until sunrise. You can see I like the way that they look at night, but the rest of the lights do turn off earlier, so I'm not at full power usage all night long. So that does save me some money, but the Tru-Tone don't use much. So as we look at our electric bill here in a second, we can see where they turn off around 9 o'clock, and there should be a drop in electrical usage, and then the rest of the usage all night long is just Tru-Tone. And here I have my electricity usage for November 29th, 2023. We were on vacation, so we were not here. So during the day, there's nothing that is going on. I have about 0.33, 0.28, so about 0.3 watts just of usage during the day. Air conditioning was off, heating was off, nothing was on, so fridges, that kind of things. But at 5 o'clock, you can see my Christmas lights turn on. So all of my lights turn on at 5. Maybe some of them took a little bit to 6. And I have 2.79 kilowatt hours being used. So it looks like I use about 2 kilowatt hours when all my lights are on. And then at 10 o'clock, as you can see, all of my twinkly lights turn off and my 2 trees turn off. My Tru-Tone stay on all night. So I have about 1 kilowatt of electricity running all night long until those turn off about 8. So there might have been the refrigerators or something turning on here, but they're pretty consistent between 12 and 4 a.m. of just about a kilowatt of electricity being run. And that's about 850 Tru-Tone bulbs that are on all night, giving that cool glow. So that's my energy usage of about 800 bulbs. It's about 1 kilowatt of energy. And my bill is $118 a month. Remember, I turned my Christmas lights on November 25th, 26th, right around here. And so it went up a little bit. You can see that it's above average a little bit, but not too much. So it's kind of cool. It doesn't really add too much of electricity usage because it's all LED. And see if I can see by year. Okay, so in December, I used 639 kilowatt hours. So It's one of my lower months for the year. Air conditioning's there. So it doesn't add up enough for me to care too much. So I just keep adding a bunch to see what happens. Let's see what this does. Okay, so here's December. So I'm up a little bit over last year's energy, but that could be for a million different reasons. But that's my energy usage. Thank you for watching. It's kind of cool to see. And here's some more shots of my lights.